What's up, football fans? So we're looking at Premier League news today. Welcome to the Delusionals podcast, episode 2. For those that watch on YouTube, Josh is donning the Arsenal badge by the looks of it, which saddens me massively. Anyway, so enough of that. Let's get on to the match news. The scores.
Great games. Great games over the weekend. I think the headliner to start with has got to be that City Spurs game. As much as I hate Spurs, that was an impressive game. I shat on you for the bet of don't pick Spurs against City. And they somehow pulled it out.
I absolutely loved it. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of I was gutted when Spurs had that goal ruled out, and then Man City equalised. I was like, oh, come on. Yeah.
Yeah, we could have done with them doing us a favour because they got games in hand, same amount of games that we've got. And I think if we are 3 points clear of them though, but they could have done us a favour by taking 3 points off from there because they'd have had no chance of catching us. But I mean, it was a great game.
Do you think Man City are going to throw it? Do you think they'll throw it away?
I don't know, man. It's only 3 points in it if Liverpool win their game in hand, so it's definitely tighter than I thought it was going to be. I don't know, man. It's so hard to bet against City. They've only lost 3 games all season. Liverpool only lost 2, but
the big ones that Liverpool have still got to play City, right? That's the big one.
Yeah.
So
if that?
Liverpool win that,
that's going to be a serious one.
I feel like was the game early. Oh, I've just typed in Liverpool City and it comes up Liverpool City Council. Liverpool fixtures. It's got. I think it's at home, if I remember rightly.
City Anfield.
Oh no! It's at the Etihad.
It's at the Etihad.
It's at the Etihad.
It'll be a good game.
Oh, 9th of April that. So that'll be nice.
That's the decider. That's a big one.
Nice one. Yeah, no,
that could be the title decider.
But Kane in that game
he was unplayable, wasn't he?
Yeah, I was literally about to say unplayable. Every time they'd feed it into him, just spin, you just turn in straight out to Son, out with the speed. It was just, it was obviously the game plan.
It's that counter attack they do. They're so good at it.
But where's that been all season? What's he been doing? Do you think he was just like, screw it, Man City, I was going to go there, I'm going to show them what they're missing, and he's just like, screw it.
Just turned up. It's funny. I think they've been sort of peaking and troughing sort of almost throughout the entire season. I think Conte's finally putting his seal a bit on the team, and they're starting to get that sort of speed back into their counter-attacking play that they had. They had a bit of that under Mourinho, that sort of speed with the attack, that counter-attack, and it looks like they're starting to get that back. And I mean, they were deadly with it when they had it under Mourinho for that sort of short spell. They did have it. They were deadly when they were on.
Yeah.
It's tough to stop Kane, Son.
But but it's just, you would have thought that would start the season, but then I would have gone recently. I would have gone, like you said. I mean, the odds on that game was 10-1 for Spurs to win, and you were like, "Oh, that's because they're going to get battered."
I was battered,
like, I don't know. And then 3-2, bloody hell! I mean, is that the first? No, I think the last time Man City have lost at home, if I remember rightly, was in October against Palace.
They've only lost 3 all season, so it's got to be a long time ago when the last one was. I don't remember their last.
I just find it funny that it was Crystal Palace.
All the London teams.
London.
The London
team. Have you lot been there yet?
We played their second game of the season. I think. That stretch of.
You're the odd one out.
Opening stretch of. Yes, it's the small London teams they struggle against, like Spurs and Palace and.
Yeah, sure. Cool. Well, next up, what was it? Southampton beating Everton. Everton, man, they're struggling.
Genuine relegation risk because Newcastle were looking like they've improved pretty fast when they've got their new signings playing.
It really sickens me. Like, money just buys you basically
money lets you win.
It just really saddens me. I would love to. I don't know. There's a lot of teams that I'd love to go down. Like, I feel like I'd love Leeds to go down because I hate Leeds. I'd love Newcastle to go down. You'd love Everton to go down.
I just think it'd be hilarious because you just always say that they seem like the 10th place every season team to me, Everton.
Well, before we went down, the only teams that were never out the Premier League were Villa and Everton. and then we
And
went down.
Arsenal never been out.
Are you sure?
Never been relegated. Never been relegated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, never been relegated. Yeah.
I could have swore I'd heard that it was just Villa and Everton. That's why it's That's why it's always the most played fixture in English football, because they've always been in the same league.
How long have they? When were they founded? They might be older than Arsenal. No, Arsenal's
1874, if I remember rightly.
Okay.
Villa. So I'm not sure. But anyway, no. Everton struggling. The Frank Lampard bounce was the smallest bounce.
One game. They looked pretty good in that one game as well. I was like, maybe they are going to climb their way back up. And was it 3 losses on the bounce now?
Was it Leeds they beat?
It was. I tell you, it was Leeds.
Like
they beat 3-0.
Yeah. I mean, Southampton though are absolutely flying.
Yeah, they are. They are looking good.
That what's his name? Boja, whatever it is. He looks like the real deal. They seem to just like manage to make these strikers amazing, like Danny Ings, and then classic Villa. We go and buy a striker who is banging them in somewhere else, and then he can't score for love nor money when it comes to us. So, but they just seem to produce these strikers who just seem to keep banging them in.
Yeah.
But they're creeping up though, man. They're creeping up that table. I think
they're top 10 now.
Where is it they are now?
They're 10th now. They've got up to 10th now. But they're 5 points clear of Leicester in 11th.
Leicester.
And you'd have never had Leicester below Southampton at the start of the season, I don't think.
No. I think, Leicester are a weird one this season. I think we spoke about that last time.
They are struggling a bit this season, yeah.
Yeah, it's a real strange one. But on to, what was it, Liverpool-Norwich?
Yeah. Solid 3-1. I mean, you'd have probably expected them to batter them by something along that. It's second place versus 20th.
I was surprised Norwich scored, if I'm honest. But, it's really saddening. I don't want Norwich to go down. They've played more than any of the bottom 5, and they're at the bottom. I can't see it.
No, I can't see them getting out of there. That 20th position looks like it's theirs.
They had those 2 wins, and then the problem is Newcastle have just picked up massive form. Burnley are even starting to now, pick up form as well.
Picked up a win. Yeah, Watford won their last game, so everyone above them is winning, and they are not.
They're two losses on the spin, and now they're struggling again. And I think they've got a terrible run as well.
We was looking at this last time, I think, if I remember, and they've got a lot of the big boys to go again.
Yeah, I think it's who is it? Because they played Liverpool just now. Who they had before that? They had Man City. They got battered. They've got Southampton next, who are playing well.
Yeah.
They've then got the distraction of the FA Cup. They've got Liverpool in the FA Cup. But then they've got Brentford, which is going to be quite a big game, and Leeds. Yeah. So those 2 are massive games for them.
They need to win those 2 if they've got any chance.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's for sure. Palace, Chelsea.
No, man. What was it, 89th, 90th? They got that winner. That was the most frustrating thing almost of the entire season so far. Sitting and just watching that game. It was just so annoying because Arsenal are making a really big run now. If we win all of our games in hand, we'll be equal on points with Chelsea, which would be 3rd. And we would have been above them if Palace managed to hold out for 2 more minutes.
It's all ifs and buts, mate.
It's just some buts, but we're going to be 4th.
It's like Gary said, and my mate Gary said at the Villa, he was like, it's like the small margins. It's like if that had gone in or whatever, he said, and I was like, yeah, mate, it's the small margins. That's the difference between 12th and 6th.
Absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
Those 1 or 2
but that's why I wanted those 2 points back, because it's small margins. If we got them 2 points off of, if Palace could nick them or them 3 points off of Chelsea, then it would have been a big one for us. Because as you say, small margins.
What's going on with Lukaku? What's going on? £97 million. And
was it 7 or 8 games since he scored now?
Yeah, Tuchel's going on about saying, he's not on form and he's not quite playing well and stuff. And then obviously he had all that stuff with the interview.
It's because he doesn't want to be there.
Well, it felt like that interview, and it's all just gone downhill. Since then, I don't think he's scored since then.
Yeah, he's definitely going through a dry spell. I can't say I've watched a crazy amount of Chelsea games.
How can he be £97 million and go through a dry spell? It's like even Jack Grealish is scoring, and he cost 100 million and he's not doing very well at City at all. It's weird. It's weird. It feels like they're playing really narrow. They're not using their width, and you got like Lukaku, who if you deliver a ball in, the guy is
going to outmuscle someone and
absolutely banging in the net. They're not using the flanks basically, and that's where Lukaku really, really shines. And it's just a bit odd. Yeah, I mean that obviously they've won, so it doesn't matter too much in terms of their season or the result there. But it's a bit weird.
They've only got sort of 2 wins in their last 5, so they are dropping points, but. They've not been that good as a team. I don't know if it's just Lukaku. They've not looked like they're playing that well together as a squad. But they're still up in third. They're still making a good push. And who have they got coming up next? Who we got over there? They are playing. Which Chelsea player?
Chelsea. They've got. Are they not playing?
They don't have a game this week. I can't see one in the fixtures.
Oh, are they maybe in Chelsea fixtures? Have I just missed it? No, postponed. Oh, doorbell, mate. Doorbell.
So they got grab it, we'll pause.
Nightmare. Thanks, guy.
Ask him what he thinks the Chelsea score will be.
It's just a postman. And he was like a tube of Smarties. It's this massive tube that I have absolutely no idea what it is. It's not a tube of Smarties. If it was, Jesus, diabetes, England.
If it was, then he's been going through your post, mate.
yeah, exactly. Oh no, of course it's the this weekend.
Oh right, Chelsea, of course.
Yeah. So
that'll be a great game.
That'll be good. But Liverpool are playing, right? Yeah, they're playing Leeds. They're playing on Leeds on Wednesday. But they don't have a game at the weekend, so that's why.
But yeah, that was a frustrating one. Late winner from Chelsea. They do it again.
Frustrating for you, not for the Chelsea fans.
Not for them.
So any Chelsea fans listening, it's not frustrating for you. It's just frustrating for John.
And every other fan of any other English Premier League team. We all hate Chelsea.
And then probably I'd say it was equally as surprising as the Man City Spurs game. Burnley battering Brighton away 3-0.
Yeah.
It
was not expecting.
Is it a Burnley resurgence?
I mean, they need one. They really need one. If it is, it's come at the right time.
Well, they've got their games in hand, don't they? They've got 2 games in hand.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and winning both of them puts them above Leeds.
Yes. Come on, Leeds.
It's really funny because they just can't defend, but they can clearly score. Because if you look at their goal difference, they're down in 19th, but their goal difference is -9. Everyone else around them is -20. Like, they're clearly getting goals.
You say they can score. No, they just don't concede. They've only scored 20 all season. They're the second lowest scoring team in the league, other than Norwich.
Just not conceding.
But they don't concede. So they're hard to beat. And I think, that's always been the thing with Burnley. Like I said to you, I think last time I said they'll grind out the draws. They'll get those single points. And the point was that they were actually getting single points against, what was it, Man U, your lot.
They're just struggling to nick a goal and get the 3. Yeah, 2 wins all season.
But evidently, if they play someone kind of mid to low table, they might be dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just weird. Brighton have been absolutely flying this season, and you thought Brighton are going to turn them over easy, especially at home. But
yeah, Brighton up in 9th, been good, but that's 2 losses on the bounce of Brighton now. And Southampton are making a push, so Southampton are going to be coming for that.
What's interesting? How was the weather on Saturday? That's something I think about. I think about Burnley and the way they play, and think about was it wet? Was it miserable?
Yeah.
So basically played into
cold night, turf more.
But actually, I don't think it was though. I think Saturday was alright. But yeah, interesting one. I was baffled when I saw that.
Yeah.
So even this relegation fight, it's not done and dusted at all. The top of the table isn't done and dusted at all. The Champions League spot, it's it's all mental at the moment. Like it's all over the place, and it really worries me. The next fixture we're going to look at, which was Villa Watford.
Tough one for you, eh?
Oh mate, it was it was grim. It was so bad to watch.
You just really bad?
yeah, I was at the game. I mean, we had the Danny Ings penalty shout 3 minutes in, which you're convinced was not a penalty. I'm still dubious about it.
Only after watching multiple times in slow motion replay can I feel like it wasn't.
Right.
But,
so quick one. I don't want to go on VAR too much. But do you think, if I think of every other sport, right, and I think of cricket, rugby, I don't know, do they have VAR in basketball? I don't think it's a thing. But
yeah, video replay. Yeah.
Yeah, do they?
Yeah.
But with that, right, I don't know about basketball, but say, for instance, cricket and rugby, they're the two that I can think of. The ref has to ask to see it again. Or, like, someone has to request it, right? So, like, in cricket, a team gets reviews. So they go, actually, I want to review that. If the review's correct, then they retain that review. They don't lose it. They only get so many a game.
Yeah.
The umpire can also go to the video ref, and he'll go, actually, I want to go, he does his little square and decides, I want to see a replay of that.
Yeah.
And then in rugby, again, he goes up to the video referee, stops the game, and he decides. In football, I have no idea when VAR is deployed, when they're looking at it, when they're not looking at it. The ref doesn't decide when. They just decide when.
The most annoying thing with VAR, and I feel like rugby has this completely bang on, basketball has this completely bang on. When they go, and like cricket has this completely bang on, and football is the only one who does this completely differently. And it's the only one where you don't get to hear the conversation between the video referees and the ref. Rugby, they talk you through it. They say, right, John, I'm looking at this. They tell you what they're looking at and why they're looking at it. Cricket, they tell you exactly what they're looking at, why they're looking at it. If they told us what they're looking at, why they're looking at it through VAR, it would just solve everyone's arguments, because everyone's arguments are, what the fuck are they looking at? Like, literally, what are they looking at? Well, if they just said it, if they just told us,
well, I mean,
it would be gone.
So the thing is, right, I remember there was an experiment a while back, wasn't there, where they had the ref mic'd up, and apparently it was an absolute disaster just because the players are just hounding the ref. That's the biggest problem in football, right? There is no respect for the referees whatsoever.
No, there isn't.
In rugby, the ref's mic'd up throughout the whole game. You can hear the ref throughout the whole time.
You hear him talking, the whole time,
And if he says something, the captains come over and go, hang on, and then they're like, okay, fine, that's it, done, said and done.
Yeah.
In football, that's just not the case. I don't know whether it's because the quality is so bad. I don't know if it's because the rules are relatively subjective at times. They're not that black and white, like rugby, where things are pretty black and white. Same with cricket.
It's true.
So I don't know if it's a bit of that, but like, so for instance, we haven't done this for a couple of weeks, so there's been the Newcastle game as well, and Ollie Watkins was. I mean, I thought they were doing thicker lines this season or whatever they were saying, right? It's like thicker lines. It's this whole malarkey of like they're zooming in to a pixel that's like a big smudge.
Yeah, it's his knee hair past the defender's knee.
Yeah, where's this start?
His hair's offside.
I'm just kind of like the lines just need to be like this thick, and it's like bang it on. And also, I think it should be a thing again. It should be a thing of like when you're looking at it in real time and you're going, that's offside. Then they look at it. If you're looking in real time and no one's flagged it and it's kind of like it's so marginal, then don't look at it. If you have to get lines out, it's not offside.
Yeah, I think we should just bin off linesmen and have like a little camera that just tracks the last man up and down the line.
Yeah, it's like
it would just be bang on. You'd have a bang on shot down the line every time. You wouldn't have these weird above angles that are fucking slightly off.
Is it in dog racing?
It's like that little rabbit that runs around. The greyhounds will chase it. Yeah, it'd be like that.
But it just baffles me, and it's like I don't think they'll ever get it right as long as they keep on going. Oh, thicker lines, shorter lines, whatever. The problem is the rule isn't necessarily crystal clear either. And I think it should just be that's obviously offside, or that's obviously offside, or if it's not offside, then we'll look at it. We'll look at the angle. Okay, it's pretty close. We'll give it. That's just how it should be. Striker the benefit of the doubt they used to do. Whereas that's out the window.
Yeah, no, it has. It has. But
so it's very strange. But yeah, it was
grim.
Tough
one for you guys.
It was grim. It was probably the first 20 minutes were better than Newcastle. Like Newcastle was the worst I've seen us play this season.
Yeah.
Well, actually, maybe not this season. Some of those Dean Smith games were bad. But yeah, it was not good at all to lose to a team who haven't scored under Roy Hodgson at home. What confuses me?
And you've been
more,
playing pretty well. I can't say you've been bad. Like
it's the exact same 11 that scored 3 goals against Leeds in like 25 minutes.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
And then you're playing against you play against Newcastle and you don't score, and then you play against Watford and you don't score. So yeah,
relegation zone, ain't out.
Oh, shut up, Danny. No, I can't. I mean, it worries me because I think we've got Southampton. No, we've got Brighton next, and then we've got Southampton. If we can get a win against either of those, either of those, then I think we're out of it. But it does worry me. Steven Gerrard's never been in this position as a manager. I don't even know if he's been in a runner like this as a player. I think it's 1 in 7, or is it 1 in 8 now? Maybe that we've won. So it's not a great. We're not doing that well at the moment, which is crazy when you think of Coutinho, Buendia, Ings, Watkins.
Ramsey, there's talent there.
Absolutely
talent there.
Those players. So hopefully next week I won't be as miserable about that.
That's it. Let's move on to the winning side of the podcast. Arsenal 2-1.
I could see you itching. You were itching. You're shifting in your chair.
I've had that line prepared since you moved on to Villa Watford. I'll touch on this game relatively lightly. I mean, the scoreline was 2-1, but it was a battering. It was Arsenal battered them from the first minute through to the last. 24 shots to their 6. They had 2 shots on target. We had 562 passes to their 290. We had 14 corners to their 0, 67% possession. It literally was a domination from the first minute. Got to score.
Brentford. I mean, their worst form in the league. They're dropping like a stone. I think you talk about us being worried. Brentford definitely need to be worried. They've played 26 games. They've played more than any of the teams
below them.
And Leeds,
they're not that far off.
Leeds, Everton.
Was it 18 points to 26 points? Is 18 points currently relegation? They're about 26.
He's 24. They're 24.
They're 24.
Yeah, they're only 6 points off it, and
so they're in
Watford,
a tough spot.
Watford a turn. I think Watford will go down. I think they weren't great against us at all. They just got that goal, and we just defended terribly for that goal. I think Watford will go down. Brentford, they're dropping like a stone, and I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 or 3 weeks they're like 17th, hovering around there. Newcastle seem to be the ones who are going to claw out of it quite quickly. So, but Arsenal. I tell you what, right? What's weird is I was thinking about this this morning, and I was like, Man U and Arsenal. I feel like whenever I think of them, I'm like, they're doing crap, like they're doing rubbish. But
everyone keeps thinking that. But if you look at if Arsenal win their games in hand, they're 4th. If Arsenal and they're not far off Chelsea. Like we got 3 games in hand on everyone above us.
You got three on Man U, but only
2 on Chelsea. Yeah.
So we win. Be 2 points. You'll only be 2 points off if you win those games.
Yeah. So it's like we're moving up there. That 4th place is, to me, right now, looking at the table, 23 games out of 20.
You just had some random results, though, ain't you? Like the Burnley one.
It was the start of the season. If you look at if we took away the first 3 games of the season, Arsenal were 3rd in the form table. They'd be 3rd, and it would be their position. They just lost 3 games on the bounce to start. Lost Brentford, Chelsea, and City 3 games back to back to back. Take those off, and we're 3rd.
Yeah. I mean, you're defensively pretty solid, actually. Only conceded.
We've been really solid, and that's been like the common theme under Arteta. Is he came in, fixed the defence, been really good defensively. We make so many chances, we just can't score. No one seems to be able to score, and I think he's basically said to Saka and Smith Rowe, "You guys need to. I know you're playmaking, but start adding to the goals because no one's getting us goals." And Saka and Emil Smith Rowe both scored. Smith Rowe took his tally to 10 for the season. First player from the Arsenal academy to score 10 goals in a season since Cesc Fabregas. He's looking really good. And he doesn't play every game. He scored 10. So there's some talent there, and we're starting to get the goals. But if we bury the chances that we have in games, we'll be tucking teams away 2-3-0 every game.
Do you think the key thing is in the summer is to get a striker?
It's get a striker. It's get a centre mid. Apparently, we're definitely going in for a big centre mid and a big striker. That's our 2 sort of main areas of concern. We've already signed a replacement for Leno, who's going to be a backup keeper. We've already signed another backup fullback. Saliba will be coming back into the squad, who has supposedly been the best centre-half in Ligue 1 this year. Team of the season, has been legit, and that's back-to-back team of the seasons, I believe that'll be. He's been people in France can't understand why he doesn't start for Arsenal. So that's going to add more competition to the centre-back position, which has already been pretty strong this year. So it's exciting. I mean, next year will be a full Arteta squad. All of the Emery stuff will be gone, except from possibly Pepe, who apparently, since coming back from AFCON, has been... Arteta's not been able to say enough positive words about him. He said he's been a completely different player since coming back from AFCON. Been working unbelievably hard in training. Looks really, really good. So possibly you see a little resurgence from Pepe as well, which would be nice because take some of the strain off of Saka and Smith Rowe. But
if you could, if you could get a realistic striker, who would you want to bring in?
I would like Alexander Isak, playing out in Spain at the moment. He's fantastic. Would have loved Vlahovic. Obviously, all the links in January with Vlahovic, but he's now on something ridiculous like 500k a week from like 20 years old from Juve. Jeez. So we were never going to compete there.
I'd like to see Isak. When a player's going to get started to get played in Bitcoin,
the other big one we're being linked with is DCL, Calvert-Lewin. So that'd be an interesting one as well. That'd be an interesting one. I think he could do a job for us.
I tell you what, I'd love to see Arsenal, Spurs, all that with a good English striker.
Yeah,
it'd be great.
And it would fit in with the rest of the team. We got Smith Rowe, Saka, and all that sort of behind them and stuff. So, yeah. But as someone said last time,
it'd be great for Southgate.
It would be. It really would be. West Ham, Newcastle. Huge result for Newcastle for me here.
What's going on with West Ham at the moment?
Yeah, they're 2 draws on the bounce. They've looked really good up until these last 2 games, and just
2 losses before that as well. They're just dropping away. They haven't got any injuries or anything. They've just started to lose their.
And I thought they were going to batter. I thought they were really going to batter Newcastle because Newcastle were only playing with one of their new signings. They only had Dan Burn in at centre back, who has made huge changes to them.
I don't think it's anything to do with the signings. I think it's just literally just confidence. They're just like absolutely buoyed.
They believe they can beat people now.
They can believe they can get out now, and they are out. They're in 17th. They're 4 points clear of relegation now. They're just firing up, and they're just like, right, I need to pull my finger out now because otherwise I'm going to be gone in the summer, and I'm not going to be part of this project. And Eddie Howe. I mean, I still don't rate Eddie Howe. I still think I think next season, if they're not kind of hitting 8th, 9th early on, or 8th, 7th early on in the season, I think he'll be gone.
Yeah.
Quite quickly. I think they'll look to get a big name manager in, and then they'll push on again and try and buy everyone out again in January.
Yeah. It's completely dependent on their survival, and they're making steps in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. I hate it because I just don't like it when teams are so loaded. I mean, I can say that obviously Villa are loaded, but
is it Tony G? Is it still Tony G?
Tony G? No, mate.
Did he drop it? Wasn't he trying to buy? What was it?
No. So Tony Jaa, he almost bankrupted. He almost put the team into liquidation. Like he couldn't pay his tax bill. And then we got Wes Edens and Nassif Suarez. They're the 2 billionaires who own. One of them owns the Cleveland Browns, maybe. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And they're also setting up a Las Vegas franchise team.
Very interesting.
So in the MLS, so that's going to be interesting, and that'll be like a bit of a feeder team or something where we can
loan people out or whatever.
Loan people out.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. That'd be cool.
Cool.
Let's skim through these fixtures. We have got
Burnley Spurs.
Yeah, decent on Wednesday. You'd expect Spurs to win that, but Burnley are flying.
Yeah, I can't call it now. I'm going for a draw there. I feel like Burnley will just dig in.
Yeah, I can definitely see Burnley digging in. I'd love to see Spurs drop points, so I'll go with you there. I'll take the draw there.
Watford Palace, a little bit of a London derby going on there.
There's a London one. I would like to see Palace win it, but I've not been massively impressed in the few Palace games that I've seen this year. You'd expect them to beat Watford, but again, that almost has draw written all over it as well.
Yeah, probably 0-0. Liverpool Leeds concede. Liverpool will, I think, run riot over them. Probably 4-1, something like that.
Yep.
I think it's going to be
I can see a 4-1, 3-1.
Arsenal Wolves.
I know you like Wolves in this fixture, but to me, Arsenal are going to have too much for them again. They did them sort of in January. This is just a 1-0, but I think they're better than they are in January now. Arsenal, that is. So I think Arsenal do them again.
I just always have this thing where Arsenal, when you hit a big game.
I mean, Wolves are going for that fourth position as well. They're fighting for that fourth position. So this is a huge. This is a 6-point game, basically.
I've got a draw on that one.
So I think that's going to be a really good matchup. And hopefully we can get it done.
Southampton, Norwich are getting battered. Let's face
Norwich
it.
are getting battered. Yep. Leeds, Spurs. Again.
I feel like it's got to be Spurs again.
Yeah. I feel like you'd pick Spurs there. I feel like that counter attack's going to be pretty dead. Leeds will get forward once or twice, and
yeah, they will.
Leeds they're just going to get caught on that counter attack. I think it's so hard to stop when it's on. Son, Kane, it is tough.
Yeah, I mean Leeds, the fittest team in the league. You know they'll keep running. That Daniel James, blooming hell, that guy just
does not stop.
He's like a little terrier.
Does not stop.
But yeah, I feel like Spurs will have enough. Although there'll be a good atmosphere at Leeds, but I think Spurs will have enough.
Yeah. Brentford, Newcastle, huge game, huge relegation potential scrap.
Right now.
Yeah. Right now, I'm taking on the form. I'll take Newcastle.
Yeah.
Brighton Villa.
No, don't ask me. Don't ask me, mate. I think it's got draw written all over it.
Yeah.
Probably 1-1.
They're not in the best form right now either. You're not. So.
Well, you know what was funny was the Watford game when I went with Gary and that. I said at the start of the game, it's going to be 0-0 today, guys. I was like, I genuinely believe it's going to be 0-0. We didn't have the cutthroat against Newcastle, and Watford just sit.
Yeah.
The only thing that might help us is that Brighton will look to play. And when teams look to play, that gives us
break them
more
down.
space, and we can get them. So maybe a win, but a draw I think is likely.
Palace Burnley.
Palace Burnley.
Good game. It's a good game.
Draw. There's a lot of draws. I feel.
I think if Burnley think they can get something out of that game, and I think that's going to be a big one for Burnley. I think they're really going to desperately want 3 points out of that game if they want any hope of surviving. So I think they're going to be fired up for that one. So I'm going to take a Burnley win there.
Yeah. I think Burnley. Yeah, Burnley might be. Yeah, I think draw.
Man U Watford.
Man U all day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Can't see anyone else.
Watford will sit on it. They can try and grind out the draw like they usually do, but I think Man U will have too much.
Man U will have too much. Pogba's been playing out of his mind these last few games.
Oh mate,
he's been playing out of his mind.
That guy. I mean, he's just. Again, I just don't understand what this thing is about Pogba. Why everyone moans about him and all this stuff.
Souness has an anti-Pogba agenda, mate. He hates him.
Everyone. Them teeth, mate. He's just
just pissed off at everyone.
Eats everyone. It's just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I got United having too much Watford there.
Yeah.
Everton City again. Everton bad form. City are going to pace them, I think.
I'll tell you what. If Newcastle win this, Everton are right in it.
Yeah, they are.
Because
they really are.
They really, really are.
I'll be 3 points away. Yeah.
Burnley winning will be the big one. If Burnley win, pull off a result.
Yeah. Everton are sweating.
Yeah. All of them are. Leeds, Everton, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's the fixtures. Little side note, little quick one to chat on. Funny talking point. I thought was sneaky Southampton. It was in 14 of Southampton's 24 Premier League games this season. A Saints player has gone down injured between the 60th and 70th minute. Their teammates then go and consume an energy drink. They get tactical direction from their manager. Is that a coincidence or is it planned?
Well, so it depends on those 14 games. If they've been spread out over the season, or if they've been out of the last 18, 14 of them they've done that, then I'm like, well, that's obviously a new tactic. It does seem that what's weird is also it's in such a narrow window.
It's a 10-minute window. And everyone, as soon as it happens, knows energy drink time. Let's go see if the manager's got anything to say. It's suspect, but it's impossible to prove.
It's also not against the rules, right?
And it's not against the rules. How do you prove that someone's faking an injury in order to give the team a chance to go and get tactical direction?
It's just like in games against Southampton, you ban injuries between the 60th and 70th minute.
If every single team was doing it, it would be obvious and they would stop it. The fact that it's one team and it's not in every single game makes you go...
But how do you stop it?
Yeah, literally, how do you stop someone pretending they're hurt?
Yeah, you just go,
it's impossible.
No, you're not hurt, mate. Get up.
You just play on. You just play on. It's a really funny one.
But I wonder if others will start doing things like that.
I mean,
there's always
smart move.
There's always that stuff 80 to 90th, isn't it? When you're 1-0 up and you start going down with cramp or head or whatever.
Yeah, no one does it in the 60th.
60th to 70th. That's definitely you're looking to influence the game there.
But yeah, it's a funny one.
Yeah.
On to the FPL correspondent.
Yes. Yeah, so onto my FPL tips. So I think the obvious ones here are Spurs playing twice this game week. They've got Burnley and Leeds. So you got to have like Kane or Son in there, right? Like if you haven't got Kane or Son in your team already, then you're probably missing a trick. 12.2 million for Kane. It's a bit expensive. I would maybe go Son, 10.7. Leeds are also playing twice. You know, do you risk it or do you avoid these tough games? Obviously, you're not going to go for any defenders because they're playing Spurs and Liverpool. But if you bag them maybe to like get a goal, like I said, Daniel James, he's an absolute little dog. He just runs around like a nutter. And then you got Man City. I think they're going to batter Everton. Mahrez is their top scorer, but weirdly only 8.7 million. Does Mahrez come in as a midfielder maybe rather than an attacker? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure now.
Yeah, but it's strange anyway. But you got that. Foden, 7.9. The problem with City is that they rotate their team so much. So it's really hard to kind of work out who's going to be playing, who's not, who's going to get the goals. You got like De Bruyne and stuff that are always in there, but they are expensive players. You can obviously look at the Walker assist as well. Leeds play. They bomb on with their wing backs, so you'd like to think there's probably going to be some space in there. So Walker assist maybe 5.4 million, decent shout.
Nice play. I like it.
Yeah, they're probably my main tips. For
this nice. I like it. Right, let's get through these quick bets, quick outro, and we'll get out of here.
Yeah.
I've got a little midweek treble, a little Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think it is. Palace, no, is it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? I don't even know when the midweek games are this week. I've got Palace.
They are, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right. So I've got a little Palace over Watford on Wednesday. I'm going to take Palace over Watford Wednesday. Arsenal to take over Wolves on Thursday. And Southampton to do Norwich on Friday. That little treble is a little 6-1 treble, quite like that.
It's not too bad. It's the Palace one.
Palace is the only one, and potentially switch out to a draw there. But
yeah, because I mean, mine's definitely more controversial. It's Spurs and Southampton wins, but also Wolves to beat Arsenal.
Yeah,
that massively propels your results to 14.43 to 1.
Yeah, can absolutely happen.
But I tell you what, the mother of all bets. You know, if you thought Spurs last week, Spurs of the weekend against City at 10-1 was long, 16-1.
Yeah, madness. Madness, absolute madness. That was a Sky bet, wasn't it? It's like 3-1 at Bet365. So the fact that that's 16-1 is madness.
Bang a tenner on.
It's absolute madness.
And what's this Saka? What's this anytime?
I like Saka anytime. It's the same game, little bet builder, bet builder. So I got Saka anytime goal, both teams to get a card, and Arsenal over 6 corners. With how aggressive Arsenal have been the last year, 14 corners last game. I can definitely see them having that attacking prowess and getting those corners again. So I like a little 15-1. Both we've got a Xhaka playing. Both teams are getting a card. And Saka goal is always a good shout. But cool. On to the outro. I mean, there was a quick shout out that I wanted to give to New Zealand women. They played USA women last night, and the New Zealand centre half banged a hat-trick, a perfect hat-trick. Centre half banging a hat-trick. Left foot, right foot header. All own goals in 35 minutes. 3 own goals, 35 minutes. The perfect hat-trick. Left foot, right foot header. Unbelievable. I was
about to say, have we got a Dion Dublin situation where they need to put her up front, but maybe they do need to put her up front.
Unbelievable. She got subbed off in the first half. Yeah.
Horrendous. No. Bless.
Right. Nice one. I'll catch you next week. Let's see what happens with the games this week.
As always, guys, if you're on YouTube, subscribe on Spotify. I think we're getting these on Google and Apple Pods as well now.
Yeah, it should be all up.
Should be all up on there. So cheers for listening, guys. And
nice one.
We'll catch you next week.
See you later.
Bye.
I've got a meeting, so I'll meeting at 11, so I've got 1 minute. I'm like, right, nice one. I'll catch you on.